Dear traders, in this video I will show you how to make a backtest on MetaTrader itself for any of the 5 strategies. And in the previous lecture I showed to you how to backtest the strategy with EA Studio, where we have a lot of tools and statistics for each of the strategies, and from there we can change the strategy in many ways if we want to. But in MetaTrader we have the option to make a backtest or to see how the strategy performs until the current moment. And especially if you're just starting with a new broker and you have just installed MetaTrader platform, it's not a bad idea to make a backtest for the strategy, so you will know if you have the right trading environment or if your broker is suitable for the strategies that you will be trading with. Alright, so no matter for which instrument I will do it and for which strategy, let's start with the first one for the Bitcoin on M15. And before I do the backtest, I will show you something important. If you have just installed the MetaTrader for the first time, you need to load more bars from your broker. For the purpose, you will need to zoom out the chart and then press the home key on your keyboard. You see it moved a little bit the chart, and I have the data now starting from 8th of May 2020, which is not a lot of data, but that's the maximum that Pepperstone offers. And I have more data, but it's on the other server because they had a few servers on Pepperstone and they changed now to a new one for the demo accounts, and I had more data previously but now it's not in there. For example, if I go to H1, I zoom out and I press the home key again. Let me see where it will go. Just press and hold it, okay? So it will go to the beginning. It's the 24th of April 2020. Yeah, so on that server they don't have a lot of data, but I'm just taking the maximum possible. Alright, so if I go back to the M15 chart and I will start with the RSI strategy, what I can do is right click over the chart and I go to Expert Advisor's Strategy Tester, or you can simply press F6 on your keyboard and you will notice a new window showing below your terminal. Now from here you have a few options to select the symbol, the expert advisor that you will be using, and usually these load automatically if you do it from the chart because the expert advisor is attached to the chart. And then we have model, where we have 3 options: everything, control points, and open prices only. For the strategies that were exported with EA Studio and for the strategies that open new trades on the opening of the new bar, you need to select open prices only, which is, by the way, the most reliable method for backtesting expert advisors on MetaTrader. I click on it, and then on the right side we have the period, which is set automatically to M15, and then we have spread. We can test it with the current spread, or you can enter any value if you want to. Now before I click on start, we have the option to use date, so you can select the time period. For example, you can test it for the last 1 year or for the last 2 years, up to date. It depends on the period you want to test the expert advisors, and if you uncheck use date, then you will be using the whole period that you have on the chart. And I click on start, and you will see the backtest is very quick. I go to results. Here are the results from the backtest of the expert advisor, and then we have the graph. Here it is. As you see, it goes up on profit, but we have just 24 trades that happen, which is not really a lot, not enough to see the performance. And then we have the report, where we see some more statistics that are available. Now if I open the very same strategy on EA Studio, you will see that I have 411 count of trades. This is the balance chart for the last 3 years and 6-7 months, which is more data, and this is because I have the data, as I've said, from the previous server. Alright, and if you want to collect more data from your broker, all you need to do is to keep your MetaTrader open, and with the time it will collect more bars for you. Basically, this is the only reliable way you can collect bars from the MetaTrader. Now, there is historical data if you go to Tools and you go to History Center, and from here you can download data, no matter what data. For example, let me go to Bitcoin and I click on M1 minute and I click on download. You will see what the message says. You're going to download data from the MetaQuotes Software Corporation History Center, but your account is opened on the Pepperstone Limited Trade server. Okay, so it's warning you that the data you will be downloading, it's not from Pepperstone, but it's actually from MetaQuotes. Alright, so to make the backtest, it's important to do it over your server from your broker with the historical data of your broker. Okay, and the historical data, guys, this is all the bars that we have in the past. Okay, if I zoom, this is the data that we have from each candlestick. If I put the mouse on the closing of any of the bars, you will see that we have the open, the high, the low, and the close. These 4 values, they give us the data, and as well we have the volume. So all of that forms the historical data which the backtester uses in MetaTrader, and even you have such a small period, that's still fine. You see that the strategy shows profit, it's not dramatically losing. Alright, that would be bothering me. If I make a backtest and I see a dramatic loss on the backtest, then, well, something is wrong. Okay, either the spread is too big for the broker or there is something wrong with the broker and you better look for another broker. Alright, and one more time in report, we can see some statistics from the backtest. For example, how many profitable trades we have, how many losing trades, consecutive losses, consecutive wins, and we have the drawdown, the net profit, and you can see in this case it is $1,243.20, but one more time, that is just from 24 trades. While in EA Studio, if I go to report, you will see a lot of statistics. Okay, we have the backtest output, which shows a lot of statistics for the strategy. We have return to drawdown, maximum stagnation, we have win-loss ratio, we have the R squared, which is very important. Basically it shows how good the equity line is. And then we have the drawdown, backtest quality, a lot of things. And on the side we have some graphs for count of entries by weekdays, profit and loss in currency by weekdays. In this case it is for the Bitcoin, and then below we see some more statistics. Monthly performance is very important, so here we can see which months were profitable, which months were losing. And as I always say in my courses, every strategy has losing periods, guys. You see that this strategy has a great equity line, but if we look at the monthly performance, we see that there were actually months where the strategy was losing. But overall, the strategy is profitable because most of the time it is profitable. And you see in this case we have the total in years. So in 2017 it was profitable, 2018, 2019, 2020 so far. Alright, so don't panic if you place the expert advisors on MetaTrader and you see losses. Just wait a little bit longer, put first the EAs on demo account so you will see how it works and you will see some profits as well. And one more time, if you want to do a reliable backtest or if you want to see more statistics, you better use the editor and import back the expert advisor in EA Studio. And if you don't have enough bars from MetaTrader for your broker, what you can do is use premium data that is available in EA Studio, and it comes by default where we have a lot of bars for many trading assets. Alright, so that's how we do backtest on MetaTrader, and as well you saw that when we use more professional tools and software like EA Studio, we can have more detailed backtest. But one more time, I would suggest you just place the expert advisors on a demo account, so you will have a real simulation on the market and you will see how these strategies perform, and give it a time, okay? Test it for a week, 2 months, 3, 6 months, it's up to you. Everyone prefers a different period for testing, and this is quite understandable. So go ahead and test the expert advisors, there is nothing to lose. Open a demo account so you won't be risking any real money. Thank you guys for watching, and I will continue from the account once I have more results. And if you have found that video useful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it. Cheers!